Good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Let me know if you can hear me. Sound check a 1, 2. How is everybody doing this morning? It is absolutely freezing here. I'm not a huge fan of it at the moment. Awesome. Appreciate that, Mike. All right. Let's dive in here, take a look at the markets. Couple things today that I'm seeing here. Talked about a couple of them in the morning right up there and dropped all 4 of the indices levels here. But right now, it's like 24 degrees here. I'm not a big fan of it. But looking at kind of the overall markets this morning, we've got, S&P is down 0.32%, Nasdaq down 0.37, Russell down 0.57, and the Dow down 0.34 here. So Russell is clearly the standout leader in terms of weakness this morning. Russell's actually going to be gapping under a support level here for the day, and it's kind of held back over the past few weeks here now in the Russell. So that's actually a little bit concerning there. Russell's typically kind of one of the leaders here. It'll make the move a little bit before the rest of the markets. So we have one market right now, the weakest on the day, cracking through some support levels. We have support levels here in the S&Ps coming in at 30, 80, 75s. If that level breaks, which we're about a point away from that level right now, we have room down to 30, 66 quarters here for the S&Ps. And, what I'm really seeing here is, we've kind of come up, we've tagged the $3,100 number there, and we're coming off pretty decent. So we traded a low in the overnight session here down to 75s in the S&P. So roughly like a 25-point sell-off or so from those highs. And what I'm seeing is like, all right, there's the potential for, kind of this move down of 30, 66 quarters, even 30, 56, 75s here. We're going to need to get under 30, 80, 75s in order for that to happen here. But at the same time, we've already done that once this morning, and then it's, kind of head faked back to the upside and traded up, 83s, 84s there. So I'm a little bit cautious on the shorts, and the reason being is that we're getting into that potential trend change area here on the charts where the daily chart could use a nice daily pullback. In order for that to happen, the hourly chart is going to need to go into a downtrend, and I don't think the downtrend or the hourly chart wants to go into that downtrend very easily. So I think we're going to see a lot of kind of whippy back and forth, kind of shakes one direction or another here in these trend change areas. I've talked about that a number of times before, where these trend change areas are like some of the absolute hardest kind of ranges or days, if you will, as they kind of, can take a few days to trade. So I want to put that out there. I'm being cautious with that, knowing that, okay, yes, I'm still fully intending on playing the short side if we crack through the support levels, fully intending on getting long if we break through, resistance levels there. But I'm also aware that, we could see some type of kind of gyration there that kind of traps a lot of people in, and just kind of keeping an eye out for that potential trap. If by doing so and being a little bit more conservative and not necessarily as aggressive there keeps us from actually getting the first initial move to the downside, I'm okay with that, because what I see and the reason that I won't take a trade is keeping me from, potentially getting chopped up there. So it's a little bit of a give and take. If we miss the first part of the initial move there, I'm okay with that. But again, I'm going to be obviously keeping an eye out for that potential trap there. In terms of the NASDAQ here, I'm watching 2 levels in the NASDAQ, 82.45 75s and 82.33s. So as long as we're able to kind of maintain those levels on the day for the NASDAQ here, we're currently printing right beneath one of them here. That's going to be a pretty tight zone here, 82.33s to 82.45 75s. If those kind of, if this zone, if you will, kind of breaks, then I think we've got to move all the way back to 81.74 50s coming in the Nasdaq. Um, and I think that'll be a pretty, I think that'll be a pretty easy, quote unquote, trade there, if you will, uh, just given the way that the chart is set up. So that's what I'm looking for there on the overall indices here. Cautiously kind of unbiased here. I really see both sides of this kind of coin here, and really want to let the market tell me exactly what it wants to do here. On the other hand, there's a couple stocks I'm watching today. Facebook, of course, from yesterday, going to continue to watch that over into today. And then also watching Tesla as well. It cracked through this 349.68 level. You can see we traded up 349.49s there in the morning, pulled back, held support, and then eked out a close above this 349.68, getting a gap up here this morning, 355.20 by 49s. So kind of right up and through there. If this thing can push hard into 363.62s here this morning, then I like actually getting short Tesla. I know that's very counter trend to what this market is currently doing here, but a gap up kind of run, a little bit extension type of parabolic play. And then I think we could actually see Tesla sell off from 363.62s all the way back down to 349.68s, and maybe even down in towards like kind of this 340 number today, depending on how aggressive the selling ends up being there. So Tesla is probably my preferred watch in terms of equities on the day, both to the long side and the short side. I think there's opportunities to capture a long up into those 363.62s, and then from that point, I think there's also an opportunity to capture a short, which the short is really kind of what I'm looking for there. And if we can time that with the markets, with something breaking, then I think that's even better there. So real quickly, gold traded at a high of 67.60s here. I'm looking for 68.30s to trade here this morning. Gold's up $9.90. So nice move out of those lows from yesterday, about 21, 22 points or so here now. And going to keep that one on watch. Excuse me. But anyways, that's what I'm looking for here on the day. Thank you guys so much for coming on and hanging out with me this morning for the morning trade plan. I will be back in just a few minutes with everyone in the MLT Discord for the morning live session. If you guys are listening for the first time on YouTube, be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the little bell notification so you know when we go live each and every morning. And there is a link in the description below if you want to join myself, Perry, Rob, Jay, Frank, all the rest of the MLT team members inside of the Discord. So go ahead and click that link if you guys want to watch me trade live. You want to hear Perry's thoughts and analysis. You want to watch Rob trade live. Whole bunch of fun stuff in there. So again, thank you guys so much for your time this morning. I'll see you guys back in just a few minutes. Have a great trading day. Peace.